Technology has ushered in an information age in society where knowledge and data is more accessible but also easier to manipulate. This ease of acquiring and manipulating data has led to a new form of warfare observed in modern times: cyber warfare. Cyber warfare is defined by the former National Coordinator for Security Infrastructure Protection and Counterterrorism for the United States, Richard A. Clarke, as actions by a nation-state to penetrate another nation's computers or networks for the purpose of causing damage or disruption. The rapid evolution of modern warfare to include cyber attacks, espionage, sabotage, propaganda, and economic disruption creates a need for nations to prepare defenses to counter these attacks. Canada has been targeted by various groups aiming to disrupt operations and cause infrastructure damage, and has in turn taken steps to strengthen its cyber capabilities. The recognition of the danger imposed by cyber attacks on Canada has resulted in the creation of a task force to identify cyber threats in the upcoming election, recruitment of cyber roles in military and cyber units in the Army Reserve, and the formation of new alliances with other nations. These initiatives are the start of a movement to better prepare Canada for the age of cyber warfare.
With the Canadian federal election coming later this year, one area of concern in terms of cyber warfare is the potential of foreign interference. One study by the Abacus data research firm shows that 60% of Canadians believe that foreign governments will likely try to influence the upcoming election. To address these concerns, Canada has taken measures to mitigate the impact of foreign governments on elections through cyber defense. Canada's security and intelligence agencies are well aware of cyber warfare as a potential threat to democracy, and have recently formed the Security and Intelligence Threats to Elections, or CITE, task force. This group consists of the Canadian Security Intelligence Service, CSIS, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, RCMP, Communications Security Establishment, CSE, and Global Affairs Canada, GAC. Working in tandem, the CITE task force will identify potential cyber threats to the electoral process through foreign intelligence collection, advising the Canadian government in areas of cybersecurity and correlation of social media activity to potential threats. The recent passing of Bill C-76 is another countermeasure Canada is taking against cyber interference in the upcoming federal election. The bill was introduced in response to Russian interference during the last U.S. presidential election and aims to counter the interference methods used by the Russian government. With the new bill in place, political parties are prevented from using foreign funds for campaign purposes. In doing so, foreign governments will not be able to buy political influence or power in Canada by means of supporting a politician they wish to see win an election. This, therefore, reduces the risk of foreign influence on elections and helps prevent foreign governments from influencing the political ideology in Parliament and Canada. Furthermore, the bill places new regulations on transparency by requiring online mediums such as Facebook and Google to retain a repository of all online advertisements by political parties and third-party candidates. This way, Canadians can know if the advertisements they see online are backed by a political agenda and can be aware of any potential bias behind the messages presented. Additionally, the advertisements will remain accessible to the public for 2 years following the election, such that they can remain under scrutiny and analysis by Canadians. Social media is capable of targeting users and manipulating their beliefs. The introduction of Bill C-76 is aimed at mitigating these negative impacts through increased transparency.
Although Canada's defensive cyber warfare countermeasures are formidable, another important part of being prepared for cyber warfare is having the ability to conduct offensive cyber operations. Canada is making great strides to improve its overall cyber arsenal. Recently, Canada has created the military role of cyber operator and is actively recruiting for this role. According to the government, cyber operators work with the Navy, Army, and Air Force along with Canada's allies to conduct active cyber operations. These include identifying network vulnerabilities and what the government calls active cyber tasks. Cyber operators are skilled professionals with required backgrounds in software development and an approved college degree in computer network security. These operators ensure that Canada is able to maintain a formidable presence in the future cyber battlefield. Along with the full-time military cyber operators, the government is also working to improve Canada's cyber readiness through the reserves. In 2018, the Canadian Army Reserve launched its Cyber Mission Task Pilot Project. Through the project, reservists with cyber-related civilian experience are being recruited to build a force of members with the skills needed to fight in the digital domain. According to the Colonel Mark Parsons, the director of the project, reservists are great because they bring a lot of skill sets from their civilian employment. Colonel Parsons aims to use these skill sets to complement the reservists' training in traditional infantry, artillery, and signaler roles. The Cyber Mission Task Pilot Project aims to have a cyber unit made of these skilled reservists in each of the Army's 4 divisions by the summer of 2019. These cyber units will help augment Canada's military to effectively operate in the cyber domain. Through the recruitment of cyber operators and the development of cyber units in the Army's Reserve, it is clear that Canada is developing offensive cyber capabilities that make it well prepared for the future of cyber warfare.
In addition to fortifying its defensive and offensive cyber operations, Canada is reaching out to allies in order to share intelligence and develop countermeasures to improve its ability to conduct cyber warfare. For example, the Five Eyes Alliance, containing Australia, Britain, Canada, New Zealand, and the United States, have made an effort to exchange classified information on foreign nations, such as China. Additionally, the alliance has been broadening its operations with the inclusion of countries such as Germany and Japan. With such alliances providing valuable information, Canada is well informed of the possible cyber attacks that may take place. Knowing such information would allow Canada to focus its cyber defense in the areas that are most likely to be targeted and develop more efficient cyber defense strategies. Outside of the Five Eyes Alliance, Canada has recently announced increased digital cooperation with Estonia, a leader in digital public services as well as cyber defense. Once Estonia had regained its independence from Russia, Estonia used its resources towards several technological advancements, including the Internet. In 2007, Estonia experienced severe cyber attacks. Bots were used to send massive waves of digital requests to swamp and take down servers. These attacks targeted online services in Estonian government, banking, media, as well as specific routers and servers. The result was that cash machines and online banking services were sporadically out of action. Government employees were unable to communicate with each other on email, and newspapers and broadcasters suddenly found they couldn't deliver the news. However, these cyber attacks are what led to Estonia becoming experts in cyber defense shortly after. Estonia focused on developing their expertise in cybersecurity and realized the need to cooperate with other countries and develop cyber defense strategies cooperatively. Consequently, Estonia joined with 6 other nations in 2008 to establish the NATO Cooperative Cyber Defense Center of Excellence, or the CCDCOE, a world-leading organization that investigates cyber issues and develops cyber defense solutions. Thus, Canada's collaboration with Estonia will better prepare Canada during cyber warfare, considering Estonia's highly developed cyber defense expertise and their own network of allies through the CCDCOE. Considering Canada's allies with the Five Eyes Alliance and the recent cooperation with Estonia, Canada is well equipped with valuable information on cyber defense strategies to endure the cyber warfare in the future. In summary, Canada is proactively strengthening their cybersecurity in a multitude of fields to identify network vulnerabilities and develop defense strategies. Canadians can feel safe knowing their country is taking steps to create cyber-specialized roles within the military in order to take proactive defense and offensive actions. Additionally, Canada is enforcing laws to prevent foreign political parties from pushing their agenda online and influencing elections, which may shake the foundation of democracy. Finally, Canada is working closely with allies, including nations who employ the best techniques in digital communication defense, to share intelligence and resources in order to prepare for the rise of cyber warfare.